Hey guys, welcome back to another brand new video and thanks so much for tuning in. So there are 5 things that I always make sure I do with my money every single time that I get paid. And in today's video, I'm going to share these 5 payday tips with you and explain why each and every one of them is a really important part of my overall financial plan. These are all super easy things to do and they can help you out massively when it comes to building a better financial future. So feel free to give these tips a try for yourself the next time that you get paid, and I'm sure that you're going to start seeing some really great results. And if you find today's video helpful, then go ahead and let me know by hitting the like button. It takes no longer than a couple of seconds to do, and it shows me which of these videos you're enjoying the most so that I can keep on creating similar content that's useful for you in the future. Now I'm going to give you these 5 tips in order of priority. So number 1 is going to be the first thing that I do every time I get paid because it's the most important thing to do. And number 5 is going to be the last thing I do when I get paid because whilst it's still really important, it just isn't quite as important as step number 1. That being said though, there's a reason I'm including all 5 of these steps in the video, so do make sure you stick around to the end so that you don't miss out on any of them. If you watched last week's video, then it will come as no surprise to you that the very first thing I do every single time I get paid is to pay myself first. Last week I spoke about this in a lot more detail, so rather than repeating it all over again, here's a quick reminder of what I had to say about paying yourself first in terms of what it means and why it's so important. In its simplest form, the idea of paying yourself first means that each time your paycheck hits your bank account, you automatically transfer a predetermined portion of that money into a savings or investment account. This money that you save or invest is then used to plan and build for a better future so that you're constantly building up your level of wealth each and every time that you get paid. And because you set it up as an automatic process that takes place as soon as you get paid, you're ensuring that your saving and investment goals are prioritized before you start paying for your monthly living expenses and any other discretionary spending that you might have. Paying yourself first is one of the most important financial rules out there. So if you only take one thing away from this video and you forget about everything else, then paying yourself first is the one thing that you should remember. By making sure that the first thing you do every payday is to put money aside for your future, you're giving yourself financial security, growing your net worth, and creating more financial opportunities for you to take advantage of in the future. And if you haven't watched last week's video yet, then I'd recommend that you go and give that a watch after this one. So I'll pop a link to it up in the corner of your screen for you and also down in the description as well. The second thing I do every time I get paid is to pay or put money aside for all of my monthly essentials. This covers just about everything that I absolutely need to pay for in order to keep on going until the next payday. The obvious things to include in this list are going to be your rent or mortgage payment so that you make sure you have a roof over your head, your groceries to make sure that you can eat, and any utilities like water and electricity so that you can keep the lights on at home. You might also want to include your monthly transport costs in this if you commute to and from work, so that could be a train or bus pass, or money for petrol and parking if you drive your own car. As long as it's an essential expense that you need to pay for in order to do the things that you have to do rather than the things that you want to do, then you can include it in this category. So now the third thing I do when I get paid is to put money aside to spend on things that are going to help me to learn or advance in some way. This could be different for everyone depending on what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish. In my case, I read tons of books on finance and investing, so I always make sure that I have money available to spend on that. I'm also always on the lookout for courses, seminars, or anything else that's going to help me to keep improving these videos so that I can provide you with the best possible content. Now, it goes without saying that in this day and age, you don't necessarily need to spend money in order to learn new things, when you can just hop on the internet and find almost anything you need for free. And this video is a prime example of that. But when I'm looking to learn more about a specific topic, I'm always happy to pay for things like books or courses where all of the information that I need is going to be packaged down into one book or whatever type of content it might be. And that way I don't need to spend hours trawling the internet to try and find out what I need. And by investing my own money into learning like this, I'm also making a financial commitment to it. Once I've spent money on something, I always like to make sure that I'm getting value out of whatever it is that I've bought. So if I spent £10 on a book about passive income strategies, I'm going to be committed to reading that book through to the end to make sure that I haven't just wasted £10 on it. Whereas if I started reading free articles about the same subject online, the chances are I'd get distracted after 20 minutes or so and move on to something else, so I wouldn't learn anywhere near as much. So to summarise this one, whatever your goals may be, I'd encourage you to put some money aside to spend on learning things that are going to help you get closer to achieving those goals. The fourth thing I do when I get paid is also really important, and that's to put some money aside for entertainment or things that are going to just keep it interesting. It's a really crucial aspect of any financial plan to have an allowance in there to spend on having a good time, because it can be so hard to stick to a plan where all you're doing is just working hard all the time and saving away every penny. Don't get me wrong, hard work and dedication to your goals is massively important if you want to achieve success in any area of your life. But if that's the whole plan, then at some point you are going to burn out, because you haven't given yourself time to have a break and do something that you really enjoy. And that's why I put aside some money every single month just to have a bit of fun with. It's not a big portion of my overall income, and that's really important to stick to, because there needs to be a line drawn to ensure that you don't overindulge on having a good time all of the time, and in doing so put the rest of your financial plan at risk. But putting aside a small portion of your monthly income as an allowance to spend on things that bring some enjoyment to your life is, in my opinion, a really important thing to do, and it's going to help keep you motivated towards working on your financial plan. And the fifth and final thing I do with my money after I get paid is to save and invest the difference. If there's anything left over at the end of the month that I haven't spent, then I don't let that money roll over into the following month and give myself more money to spend. Instead, the money gets added straight into my savings and investments so that it's working hard to gain interest for me that will grow and compound over time and turn into even more money in the future. This is also something that I'd do if I ever came into unexpected money. For example, if I was given money for a birthday or if I received a bonus from work. Rather than spending it on something unnecessary that's going to give me short-term gratification, it's far more useful to put that money to work so that it can turn into a larger sum that I can then use towards something that's going to benefit me financially in the future. For example, that could be a buy-to-let property or even money to start up a new business. So there you have it. I really hope you learned something new here, and feel free to leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought of today's video. Also, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. It only takes a couple of seconds to do, but it really helps me out and it helps the channel to grow and reach more people too. I post a brand new video right here on the channel every single week, so if you want to be among the first to be notified when a new video drops, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also turn those notifications on by clicking the bell icon down below, and you're then going to be notified as and when new videos are released. As always, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I will see you right back here next time.